Would you rather be a river or a calm lake? This question is inspired by this book I'm reading right now that my friend gave me, The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. If I really think about it, would I rather be a very calm, still, vast lake, or would I rather be a running river? Now, for a lot of us who have been through a lot of chaos in life, we might feel like, you know what, it would be wonderful just to be just floating in a large, calm, beautiful, serene, still lake. I cannot even imagine really being in a river, the chaos of it, like instead of seeing myself as the river, I instead remember times where I really felt like I was a rock just being pummeled by the current of life, right? We don't maybe think of ourselves as the river itself, but instead something in the river that's either trying to swim upstream and having a hard time, or it's flowing downstream and being taken by the currents, right? Taken by the currents of life. So, this is an interesting thing to think about. And you know what? I think it's probably worth reading the first, I think, two paragraphs here. So, the 40 Rules of Love, this is in the prologue. It says, between your fingers, you hold a stone and throw it into flowing water. The effect might not be easy to see. There will be a small ripple where the stone breaks the surface, and then a splash muffled by the rush of the surrounding river, that's all. Throw the stone into a lake, the effect will be not only visible, but far more lasting. The stone will disrupt the still waters, a circle will form where the stone hits the water, and in a flash that circle will multiply into another, then another. Before long, the ripples caused by one plop will expand until they can be felt everywhere along the mirrored surface of the water. Only when the circles reach the shore will they stop and die out. If a stone hits a river, the river will treat it as yet another commotion in its already tumultuous course. Nothing unusual, nothing unmanageable. If a stone hits a lake, however, the lake will never be the same again. Now, this is one of the big issues. Sorry, I'm trying to balance my my phone in my hand. I'm really tired. I have been through some stomach issues today. So, for those of us who were in survival mode for such a very, very long time, what we want peace, we want quiet, we want stillness. And for those of us who managed to achieve that, those of us who managed to get out of the places that were toxic, that try to build a life that is peaceful, we get so used to the calm and the peace of it, right? That we start to stagnate. And this is one of those, I guess, those uncomfortable truths, right? And what I'm finding now, not just, I'll be honest, this is not necessarily completely true for me, but what I'm seeing in a lot of people who have had a lot of chaos, and then they think that, oh, they have a bit of ambition, they want to do all these things. They're trying to retreat into stillness at the same time. They're going from survival mode into ambition mode. And that can be really, 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 really chaotic, right? It's really quite chaotic. On the other hand, there are people who were in survival mode, got themselves into stillness. And that stillness is something they had sought for so long. They were seeking it for such a long time that it's really hard for them now to turn this lake-like state into a flowing river. I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you become a recluse, when you start to retreat into yourself in order to heal, in order to find that stillness, right? Any stimuli, any interaction can really be magnified in that state. It really, really can. So this is why I feel like if you have a certain level of ambition, if you have something you want to achieve in life, we've got to turn this lake-like state more actually into a river state. CIA, consistent imperfect action. Start taking action. When you start taking action, there's movement. When there's movement, whatever comes your way will just be part of the movement. There's a difference between being like a river that is moving constantly, and then, people can throw rocks, fish can try to swim upstream. There's so many things that can happen. But if you are a lake, and the lake, in that lake-like still state of peace, you're trying to do something and then boom, something happens, right? Either you succeed and it creates this ripple effect of, whoa, look, I succeeded. Or let's say you failed. Let's say that things didn't go as planned. Without consistent, imperfect action, without the movement being consistent, in that empty, still lake state, dropping that one experience right there in the center can affect the entire stillness. And it can make you believe things that are just not true about the world and about yourself. This, I believe, is what resilience really is. Resilience is built through constant experience and having a good sense of self, right? The river is constantly changing. What's the saying? You can never step into the same river twice. And these days people say you can never meet the same person twice, because every person changes pretty much with every interaction, every experience, even through every video they watch, right? Every person that they interact with. So this is resilience. When you're in a state of movement and life is not there in stillness. There is peace, there is calm, there's a lot of things. But to be like a river, to be full of life, to be flowing in the direction that you want to be going, and come what may, right? Come what may. That force of that water, that life in you, make sure it's moving constantly through consistent, imperfect action. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep moving a bit further in the direction you want to go. Keep pivoting to where you really, really, truly want to go, where it feels good to go. Remember, feels good. I'm not saying feels easy, feels good, where that direction resonates with you deep within. My name is Nandini. This is Figuring It Out Alive. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more such videos, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.